special, the preparations mostly with their wide receivers against your DBs. What is the challenge maybe that they bring to you guys?
Size and obviously speed. Somewhat of what we've been seeing obviously the whole year, and so we've got a good, have to do a very good job of proper leverage and playing to the defense is called. And but again, they've got some outstanding players at the skill position and been very successful.
You look back on the season after Bam's injury. Do you like the way the kids just really stepped up the rest of the way and really were locked down in the defensive secondary?
I think so. Obviously, that was a huge loss for us at that time, and the leadership that we lost with Bam, not just the talent level. And it's nice to see Bam back with us now, and he's been doing a great job of coaching the guys that have replaced him, so to speak, this year, whether it was Tay Gowan or there's Amari Maxwell, and it's something that those guys themselves took it as a challenge of stepping up their game, and I think that the rest of the group too on defense has done that to help them with that.
Talk a little bit more about the recruits from the other day. Quite a haul in the DB category.
Yeah, we think so, and what we wanted to do, and like we always do, is you got to get guys that are very athletic, that are their strengths are in the categories of speed, obviously, the change of direction, but playing the ball in the air. That's a big deal because obviously with these offenses, with the 50-50 ball, being able to be a playmaker and changing the momentum of the game, and I think we addressed that with those guys, those 5 guys that signed with us.
How would you assess the season that Richie Grant has had this year?
I think that Richie started off slow. I think he'd be the first one to tell you that from a standpoint of production, and we really wanted more of him at the beginning of the year, but because he's such a great player and one of our team leaders. And I think some of it too was that maybe challenging somebody else on the other side, whether it was Antoine a little bit more, and he didn't get as many plays, but the plays that he wasn't making early on in the year have really come on the last 2 or 3 games, and that's something that we continue to want to pursue. The consistency, because he's a really good player, and he obviously is really sitting in the middle of our defense, and you've got to be a guy that's very productive and very consistent.
As you look back on the season, you surprised the defense didn't create more turnovers, and can you point to something that explains it, or is it just the way the ball bounces?
No, I mean, obviously we're really hard on ourselves as coaches. What can we do to do that? Because we know that changes the momentum of the game. You look at us though, like I heard Coach Hype just talking about it. You know what I mean? That we're leading the country in tackles for losses. So what we've done a really good job of is that we've created a lot of negative plays on early downs that allowed us to be third in the country right now on third down. We weren't good on that last year. We're off the field more. We're creating more 3 and outs, creating long yardage, and so things that we're obviously help us to be very successful on defense with the tackles for losses, the passes defended, getting the offense behind long yardage. We're getting off the field, but we haven't created enough turnovers, maybe in those earlier downs that we needed to. And we've dropped some picks, obviously, earlier in the year that would have helped us. And obviously that's on us, and we've got to do a better job of that, and we just continue to work on it. We do it twice a week, as a group, and believe me, it's something that we're striving to be the best we can be at that, and we've got to create more.
Josh talked about leaving a legacy with some of the guys and getting some younger guys maybe opportunities this week and practices over the last couple of weeks. What about for the secondary itself? Maybe getting some of the young guys opportunities maybe to step up more.
Yeah, well, our young guys are basically playing.
Yeah.
I mean, and I mean by young, it may not be in the classification as a freshman or a sophomore, but A-Rob's the first time he's ever started. Obviously, he's been our starting nickel and has done a great job all year. He's continually developed to be a very consistent football player for us, and he has to be for that position. Is very important for us because he's involved in the run and the pass. But you guys, Amari Maxwell is starting at corner. He's a young player has had a couple of starts here. Tay Gowan, who's young in a standpoint of being a part of our program, his first-year player, and has to grow and mature and understanding our defense. And we'll get some other guys in there, whether it's James Tarver, and that's our goal to do that, to get him the experience. We're a little bit thin in that position, so but Dylan Lester, obviously, we're going to continue to give him the reps he needs to continue to develop as a player. And again, obviously, Derek Gaines has played some. They've been really outstanding on special teams, which is really you're going to gain your confidence to give us the ability to play making plays on defense. So they're doing the right things about playing the space, what we call the space teams, the special teams, and which is going to help them be successful.
Who do you think's game has grown the most over the course of the season?
To put one guy, I would say A-Rob. Aaron Robinson is the guy that, again, it's his first year ever starting, and the production that he's put on, the entire year on a consistent basis has been not so much a surprise, but obviously it's really allowed us to play great defense. And just like, Rashad Carsey last year, didn't talk that much about him early on, and obviously the consistency, he allows us to do more on defense when our nickelback is a productive player. So that was huge for us. And I think Antoine Collier, from a year ago to now, starting for the first time, he started some games in the past, but starter all year, and the consistency to see him grow as a player, become a better tackler, has been really good to see. And again, he's going to continue to work on that part of his game, because it's obviously you got to do that in the back end. And those two guys kind of stand out the most. But obviously a lot of guys have done a really good job in the second. You can't play really well in the back end unless you're playing as a group.